Very good morning to you all students. I hope you are able to hear me. Is my voice audible? Ashok sir, is my voice audible? Okay, thank you. So today we will be going into the second session of bank reconciliation statement, where we will be trying to solve the problems which may come in the CA Foundation examination and how to deal with it, how to deal with it. So earlier class, what I did is I give you a brief overview. What are the errors and how they have been happening, and what are the differences due to timing and transactions. Now today, before starting, if you see in my slide, there is a link. This is a link to all the CA Foundation question papers. So you can practice on these question papers, and you can, when you practice, you can more learn. So today's session is very exhaustive. It has taken almost all the aspects of the CA Foundation questions which can come in the exam. Still, when you practice, you will learn more. And, if any doubt arises during this course of time, you can ask me. So what happens is when I am doing also, please you also do. And as we do more and more, we get more and more acquainted, we get more and more exposure, we get more and more practice. जितना हम करेंगे उतना हमको वो चीज ज्यादा नॉलेज में आ जाएगा. जितना हम करेंगे वो चीज एक्सपोज हो जाएगा, वो पता चल जाएगा कि हम लोग कहाँ पे डेफिशिएंसी है, हाउ इसको टैकल करना है, हाउ वी हैव टू टैकल इट, एवरीथिंग वी विल गेट टू नो इट. So before that, I would like to say you that if you have your notebook and pen, keep it ready, and let us start the journey of this bank reconciliation statement. How we will do, what are the different methods, and how to tackle the concepts of bank reconciliation statement. So this two, when our topics are covered in the syllabus, these two we have already talked about. But what is the main thing? Purpose and utility will be knowing in the course of time. Main thing we have to deal with is the methods of reconciliation. Which of the method of reconciliation we should use? And like last class, somebody asked about the format. What's the format? How to approach, which format you use? How to know when to use which format? And how to move about? We will be discussing in this. So, very simple. This is illustration. Very simple from your book only. But why I am taking it? Because last class, somebody asked whether we'll start from cash book or passbook. Now, I will ask the question to the students, first of all, whether you should go from cash book or passbook. So I will ask in between. So we'll have interactive sessions. So it is like similar to the multiple choice of questions. I'll be asking some questions, you'll be answering, and you'll be able to know and able to gauge that you are able to learn and able to practice. So can anybody say here whether I should start? If you see this problem, both balances are given. This is a typical problem. Both balances given, cash book and passbook. Whether you should start from cash book or you should start from passbook. So last class I explained what is the cash book has. It is the bank column of the cash book, and what is a passbook, and how the data is represented in the cash book and how the entries are represented in the passbook. Now the question is that I should start from cash book or passbook. Who can say the answer? Anybody wants to say? Naina Verma, you can unmute yourself.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
We can either use the cash balance or cash balance as per cash book or passbook, sir, because we are given both the options.
Okay. Very good. Very good.
And
Okay.
if
This Naina that yes. Tell me, Naina. Continue.
If we start with the cash book balance, then we would arrive after reconciliation. We would arrive at the passbook balance, so it would be easier for us to rectify whether our reconciliation statement is correct or not.
Okay. Good. So what is that Naina's view is we can start from the cash book balance. Any other views? Yeah. Divya.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Divya, you can continue.
Yeah, sir.
You wanted to say something?
Yes, sir. Question पूछो.
हाँ. किससे स्टार्ट करेंगे? कैश बुक से स्टार्ट करेंगे रिकॉन्सिलेशन या पासबुक से?
सर किसी
आपने
से
हाथ
भी
उठाया
कर
है इसलिए
सकते
मैं
हैं।
आपको पूछ रहा हूँ। किसी से भी कर सकते हैं। आसान कौन सा होगा? आसान
कैश
तरीका
बुक
सबसे।
से पासबुक तक जाना।
वेरी गुड, वेरी गुड। आप लोग बहुत अच्छा सब कुछ जानते हो। मुझे खाली जस्ट आप लोग को थोड़ा लिवरेज देने से आप अच्छा करोगे। आई एम वेरी हैप्पी यू पीपल आर एबल टू आंसर।
यस।
देखिए कैश बुक में फर्स्ट इट इज मेंशन कैश बुक, सेकंड इज यस प्राजल एसीसी वांट्स टू से समथिंग। यस प्राजल।
Sir, cash book would be
प्राजल
sir,
कुछ
starting with
बोलना?
hello.
हाँ प्राजल बोलिए। यस टेल मी
Starting
प्राजल।
from cash book,
योर वॉइस इज ब्रेकिंग
starting from
प्राजल।
cash book is easy, I think, sir. Hello.
Yes, starting from cash book is easy. First of all, it's the vertical horizontal number one. Very good. Second is you have even number of 2,40,000. So rounding up all this can be easier. Now what I am doing is quickly just showing it to you all. I am not explaining much because assuming that you are at that level that you can understand, I don't need to tell you so much of the basics. What we can start to do is here you can see the balance as per cash book and balance as per passbook. Both are given. Now what happens is these differences are, you all know very well, timing differences. These two. Okay, that was I was discussing. And this is the projection differences, both bank charge and interest credits. I hope I would not speak much on this. I have explained you all this. And then from cash book to passbook, you can go like this. You can write check issued and bank receipts will be added, and check deposited and bank charges will be minus. This is like a plus minus. So what is happening is first, basically, whenever you are issued the checks in the cash book balance, that has to be added back because you are arriving at the passbook balance. So whatever has decreased your cash book balance, you have to increase it. So check issued is plus, check deposited, which would have increased the cash book balance, would have to reduce it. So whatever balance, this is like a balance representation also. So whatever is reducing your cash book balance, you should increase it. Whatever is increasing your cash book balance, you should reduce it so that you arrive at the passbook balance. This is the basic concept. Now, this is the check issued and bank receipt. Same thing, check deposited and bank charges, which is increasing and which is decreasing. So I'm going fast, assuming that you all know all this. If anywhere you do feel that you have a doubt, please raise hand. I will be a bit slow to explain on that concept, on this particular illustration. So then this is the format. What you do is, you whatever is not recorded in the passbook and not recorded in the cash book is accounted for in the similar manner. So what you can do, as I said, you are increasing the balance of the cash book wherever it has decreased and decreasing the balance of the cash book where it has increased to arrive at the passbook. And how can you increase the passbook balance? If you take the inflow, which is not recorded in cash book, interest credited by bank, that you can increase your passbook balance. How will your passbook balance decrease? If the bank charges, which is not recorded in cash book, which is not bank charges debited by bank. So you can go that and you can arrive at the passbook balance. So this is the basic fundamental you all have understood. Now, if I start from passbook, now I want to ask you a question. When I start from passbook, I think you can you can take a screenshot of this, or you can, if you ask me, I'll be pause for a while for screenshot. Now you have the passbook balance. Now I will add. Okay, in the passbook balance, I will add. So what should I add in the passbook balance? Now the timing differences are due to checks. Now one is check issued and one is check deposited. Now I am from passbook balance, I have to arrive at the cash book balance. So what should I add? Check issued or check deposited? From passbook balance, I have to now arrive at, if I go reverse, from passbook balance, I have to go at cash book balance. Yes, Prajal and Chris are there. Okay, let me ask Prajal. Yeah, Prajal.
Sir, we should add the credit items and subtract the debit items.
I am asking now two timing difference items. Okay, due to checks. One is check issued, another is check deposited.
Check
So,
deposited should be added, sir.
very good. Check deposited should be added.
And check issued should be subtracted from the
Check issued should be subtracted. Now coming to bank inflows, transactions in the bank which are inflows. What will you do in the passbook balance? Will you add it or will you subtract it? You are correct. Chris, can you answer this question? Chris has raised hands.
We
Chris,
can
Nana,
add that.
huh?
We will add that.
Which one you'll add? Bank receipt you'll add?
Yeah.
Inflow from bank you'll add?
Yeah, sir.
So Chris is of the view that when from passbook balance you are arriving to the cash book balance, you will add the bank inflows. Let me ask Naina has also raised. Naina, what is your view?
Yes, sir.
Naina, what is your view on this?
So what inflows are recorded in the cash book should be deducted from the deducted in this reconciliation as it is not recorded in the cash book.
Okay, okay, fine then. So I hope this is what the point is. We have to understand. This is what we were discussing on that, and absolutely, Naina, you have given a fantastic answer. Normally, what happens is that bank charges, it is not known to the cash book, so it is added back. Similarly, bank receipts is not known also is subtracted. Okay, I think Piyush, and then you can arrive at the cash book balance. I think Piyush has a you get a cash book balance. Piyush has a question now. Yes, Piyush, what's your question? Piyush has a question. Satyajit Pradhan has a question. Yes, Satyajit Pradhan.
सर और एक बार जरा समझा देंगे?
हिंदी में चाहिए?
जी सर।
ओके, कौन सा समझना है, पासबुक से कैशबुक वाला ना कैशबुक से पासबुक वाला? सत्यजीत, कैन यू हियर मी? सत्यजीत, सत्यजीत, कौन सा समझ में नहीं आया?
यस सर। सर पासबुक टू कैश बुक।
ये वाला समझ में नहीं आया, राइट?
जी सर।
देखिए, पासबुक से हम लोग कैशबुक जब जाएंगे ना, तो जो जो बैलेंस पासबुक में है उसको छोड़ के जाना पड़ेगा, और जो जो बैलेंस कैशबुक में आएगा उसको लेके जाना पड़ेगा, ठीक है? क्योंकि हम पासबुक से अपना यात्रा कैशबुक की तरफ कर रहे हैं, ठीक है? तो पासबुक में से यात्रा जब कैशबुक की तरफ करेंगे, अब चेक्स के बारे में तो पासबुक को मालूम नहीं है, राइट? तो जो भी चेक्स कैशबुक में जमा होता है वो कैशबुक का बैलेंस बढ़ाता है। तो हम लोग क्या कहते हैं, पासबुक से जब कैशबुक जाते हैं तो ये देखो जो चेक्स डिपॉजिटेड है उसको हम ऐड करते हैं, बढ़ाते हैं, ठीक है? और जो जो कैशबुक का बैलेंस नीचे चला जाता है जिसके वजह से चेक इश्यूड है उसको हम लोग कम कर देते हैं। मैंने इसका और एक फ्लो डायग्राम भी बनाया है सो दैट ये कंफ्यूजन आप लोगों का हमेशा के लिए दूर हो जाएगा। आई हैव मेड ए फ्लो चैट after some 2-3 slides that will clear all your confusion about this cashbook to passbook and passbook to cashbook. Still then I am just giving a brief. चेक डिपॉजिट क्या होता है, जब वो ऐड होता है तो आपका कैशबुक का बैलेंस बढ़ता है, तो आपका कैशबुक की तरफ यात्रा होता है बैलेंस बढ़ के ना। कैशबुक की तरफ यात्रा में जब बैलेंस कम किसके वजह से होता है, चेक इश्यूड की वजह से होता है। ये दोनों आपका आ गया है। अब आपको क्या क्या उस जर्नी में छोड़ना पड़ेगा, जो जो पासबुक के पास है वो आपको छोड़ना पड़ेगा। पासबुक का जो बैंक चार्जेस है उसके वजह से ये बैलेंस कम हो गया था, लेकिन वो बैंक चार्जेस को निकालना है क्योंकि पासबुक में ऑलरेडी बैलेंस माइनस हो गया था बैंक चार्जेस। लेकिन अभी क्या है, वो बैंक चार्ज जो माइनस उसको प्लस करके प्लस माइनस कैंसिल करके हम लोग को बैंक चार्ज हटा देना है। तो हम लोग बैंक चार्जेस पासबुक से हटा देते हैं। बैंक रिसिप्ट्स जो पहले प्लस में था उसको हटाने के लिए माइनस करना पड़ेगा, सो दैट प्लस माइनस जीरो। सो बैंक रिसिप्ट हटा देते हैं। तो सारा बैंक वाला चार्जेस और रिसिप्ट को हटा के चेक वाला चीज को हम लोग अपने पास ले लेते हैं, सो दैट हम लोग अपना कैश बैलेंस के यात्रा में पहुंच जाएंगे और कैश बैलेंस में अंतिम कैश बैलेंस के पास में हम लोग पहुंचेंगे। आई थिंक सत्यजीत प्रधान आपको समझ में आ गया? Okay, so I will clear this confusion. So just I will tell you first when the BRS process starts. I'll just give a brief overview of this flow chart. When the BRS process starts, there is a cash book balance. And from cash book, when you're going to passbook, first of all, you will decrease that. You are going to decrease those things which is increasing your cash book balance. So check deposited is increasing your cash book balance. So you're decreasing that. Check issued is decreasing your cash book balance. You're adding that. And all the bank charges you are deducting because you are going to bank book balance. So for that, you have to deduct the bank charges which bank has been recorded. Similarly, you have to add the bank receipts which bank has recorded. So whatever bank has recorded, you have taken, and whatever cash book has recorded, you have left it, deleted it, you have deleted it. So delete means you direct cannot delete it. For a plus, you do minus. For a minus, you do plus. and you arrive at the passbook balance. So this type of flowchart is helpful for you in your plus minus and balance presentation and to attend any questions on bank reconciliation. So you can take a screenshot or a photo of this in mobile, or the notes. If I share this PPT with you, you will be able to know it. So you can see here, you are abandoning this and you are taking the bank charges and bank receipts for the passbook balance. Similarly, whenever I am arriving from the passbook to the cash book, what I am doing is I am taking away all the things which is related to bank, but I'm accepting all those things which is related to cash book. Now in cash book, if the checks are issued, the balance will decrease. So I'm doing it minus. And if checks are deposited, the balance will increase. So I'm doing it plus. Then what I'm doing is I am subtracting the bank receipts because I don't need the bank receipts because I'm arriving at the cash book balance. Similarly, I'm adding up the bank charges because I don't need the bank charges, so that I'm arriving at the cash book balance. So I'm taking the checks for cash book and I'm reversing the bank receipts and bank charges. So this slide will be given to you. I hope this way you can be able to know or learn on this. So this is the basic BRS process. Then we will see here that we will take a typical problem here. What is happening is we are showing a balance of 1,50,000 to her credit, while balance as per passbook is balance as per cash book was 1,12,050. On scrutiny of the two books, she ascertained the following causes of difference. So you can see here the date is 31st March 2022. Normally they will give this date because you will be preparing the BRS on this date. Now see it very clearly. What you observe is your bank passbook is showing a balance of 1,50,000 credit, while balance as per cash book is 1,12,050. Now I will ask you one thing: is this balance in cash book is a debit balance or credit balance? Who can say? You can raise hands. Yeah, Gauri, you want to say? Gauri, Naina Verma, Pius. Can you say who wants to say? You can speak. Pius.
Yes, sir.
Naina, you wanted to say something?
Yes, sir. The
Yeah,
balance given as per cash book is the debit balance of cash book.
Yeah, very good. The balance given as per cash book is a debit balance. When nothing is mentioned and it is written in positive, it is a debit balance. Okay. And passbook is also 1,50,000 will be credit balance because we know that they are mirror images. The only thing is there is a difference in numbers. Now, when there's a difference in numbers, we have to find out the cause of difference. Now, last class I told you how practically people go and make a tick and find a cause. Normally in the exam, your causes of difference will be given. And this is how it is given here on the scrutiny of the two books. You are able to find the causes of difference now. Now, what happens is, if we see here, we are seeing some 5 different causes of difference. So this is the difference due to checks. This is the difference due to the checks. We can say it as a timing difference. Yeah, somebody wants to ask. Piyush wants to ask something. Yes.
हेलो सर
Yes.
सर वैसे क्वेश्चन में अपने को मालूम कैसे पड़ेगा कि कब बैंक पासबुक टू कैश बुक जाना है कैश बुक टू पासबुक जाना है सर इसमें बहुत कंफ्यूजन होती है मेरे को
हाँ, इसीलिए हम लोग एक एक प्रॉब्लम्स कर रहे हैं ना, सो दैट ये सारा कंफ्यूजन को दूर करने के लिए हम एक एक प्रॉब्लम्स को देख रहे हैं कैसे टैकल करना है। ठीक है, तो अभी क्या है, दोनों बैलेंस दिया है, हम लोग को कैसे जाना है वही देखना है। ठीक है, सो व्हाट वी कैन सी हियर इज, ये जो चेक्स है दे आर क्रिएटिंग ए टाइमिंग डिफरेंस, राइट? एंड what is these two differences called? 4 and 5. So 1, 2, and 3 are timing differences. What about 4 and 5? So I have told 3 types of differences: timing, transaction, and error. 3 differences I have told. Now I want to ask to the class, 1, 2, and 3 are timing differences. Okay, Naina has raised hands. Yes, Naina, what is the 4 and 5? Which
The
difference?
error mistake.
Okay, error. So
Yes.
why do you think, Naina, it is an error?
So because it has been omitted to be recorded in the cash book. And the second one is recorded, but there is also an error in recording the amount of the transactions.
In 4 and 5, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then who else has raised hands? Let us ask Richa Kumari. Richa Kumari, what is your view?
Yes, fourth one is error mistake and second one is transactions mistake.
Second one is transaction mistake.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, let us go back again. So what we'll do is, okay, it's going on interesting. So you're saying second one is transaction and fourth one is error, right, Richa?
Fifth one is fourth one is error and fifth one is transaction mistake.
Fourth one is error and fifth one is transaction. Okay. So let us understand one thing. Okay. That you issued the checks. Okay. And
Yes.
out of which 15,000 were presented for payment. That means you know that some were not presented. So checks issued but not presented. Third one is check of 22,000, which is deposited by her and has not been cleared yet. So these two are the differences relating to the checks. So second one is a correct one, where a check of 5,000 which she has recorded in her cash book, but what happened is she has forgot to deposit in the bank. Okay.
Yes, sir.
But it is coming under a timing. Can you hear me, all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it is coming under a timing difference. The reason being is she has already recorded in her cash book, but she has not gone. Last class, I told about the practical example that she has not gone to deposit in the bank. So what happens is the recording is done here and the recording is not done in the bank book, in the bank. So there has been now, due to this information is not done in the passbook. So what you can say, when you have received the check and you have recorded in the cash book, when you check the cash book, there is no error. But the problem is you have not gone to deposit in the bank. So this will come under the timings. This will come under the timings. So I repeat, these 3, 1, 2, 3 will come under the timing difference. Why? Because you have got a check, you have recorded in the cash book, but you have forgotten to deposit in the bank. Now coming to the error, when you have said about this error, you see Mr. Gupta deposited amount of 15,700 in a bank, which has not been recorded by her in the cash book. Okay. So what happened is they have deposited the amount 15,700 in the bank, but when they have deposited in the bank, that information they have not passed on to the cash book. Similarly, that means the amount which is deposited by the customer, the amount which is deposited, who is Mr. Gupta here? Can anybody say who is Mr. Gupta?
Debtor.
Debtor, very good. That means what transaction difference it comes under? Customer direct payment to bank. This is a difference in transactions under direct payments to bank. So what happens is it has directly credited to bank, but it is not recorded in the cash book because Mr. Gupta has not informed and neither the bank has not informed. So because the information has not reached from Mr. Gupta, suppose Mr. Gupta has would have telephoned or sent a mail to the company and said that, yes, I have deposited 15,700, they would have clarified with the bank. So the information has not reached either from Mr. Gupta or from the bank. That's why it is not recorded by the cash book. Similarly, the interest which bank has given and the bank charges, both of them are also not recorded in the cash book. So these two are the transaction differences. Now, whatever I said, if you have any doubt or issue, please raise hands. Okay, fine. So it is clear now. So now we will go to the bank reconciliation statement. So 80,000 checks, you have to find check issued but not presented. issued is 80,000, out of which 32,000 were presented. So you get 48,000 are the checks which are not been presented for payment. So this is one of the timing differences we could estimate. This is one of the timing differences. Hope you have understood this first one. So there is no problem here. Now we will go to the second event. Second event is two events. So received a check of 5,000 which is recorded in your cash book, but forgot to deposit in the bank. So he did not deposit, and 22,000 which is deposited by her has not been cleared. So these two are the money which should have been come in the cash book, but it has not been, and another one in the bank book, but it is not deposited and it is also unclear. So this is that amount which is direct payment by customer and which is not recorded in the cash book. Now this is the interest which is allowed by the bank, and these are the bank charges. So what we can see here is, now we are given the first the balance as per bank book and the cash book and the passbook. Now, as I said, you see the passbook balance is even number 1,50,000 is zero. Some now couple of zeros are there. So when the couple of zeros are there, normally making addition, deletion, you can go on smoothly. So in these type of situations, you can start from balance as per passbook, and you can see that when you start from the balance as per passbook, there is a credit balance, and you can, that is the credit balance it is for passbook means cash book, it should come as a debit balance. So what you can do is, now you can start from the passbook now, and you can arrive at the cash book. As I said earlier, again, when there are number of zeros or more, it is becoming very smooth to start the add and less. So when you start from the balance as per passbook, then what you should do is, first of all, you are arriving at the cash book. That means you have to take on those points which has to be added in the cash book, and you have to leave those points which are there in the bank book. So what happens is, first of all, if you see with the checks which are deposited but not yet cleared, and check which are recorded in the cash book but it is not yet deposited, these two should be added back. These two are check deposits. They should increase the balance of the cash book. It's Gauri, yeah, Gauri. Gauri, you want to say something?
So after reconciliation, so bank balance and passbook balance should be same, sir. But in this case, they are differs.
Very good question. In this case, they are differs. Yes.
Why, sir?
Yes. Now you see, this is the balance we have got as per passbook. Okay. We are arriving at the cash book balance, right? We have not. Can you hear me? Okay. Gauri, can you hear me? So here we are not arriving at this difference because we are preparing the reconciliation with the existing cash book balance and the passbook balance. There might be some other reasons of differences which are yet to be sorted out. But what happens is, in the balance which is as per passbook is 1,50,000 and the balance which is as per cash book is 1,12,050. We are trying to arrive from the passbook. If these have been relieved, we are getting the balance as per cash book. Actually, if you take out all these differences, then your balance as per passbook becomes 1,12,050. Okay. So balance as per passbook is not matching because it is 1,50,000. Balance as per cash book is 1,12,050. Now, when you clear these differences from the passbook, then your passbook balance becomes 1,12,050. That means it is tallying. Since it is not tallying, you are starting from the balance as per passbook to arrive at the balance as per cash book. That means you are telling that my passbook balance would have been 1,12,050 credit balance if these differences would have been sorted out. So you are showing this cause of difference. I hope, Gauri, it is clear. If any doubt, any participant can raise hand on this. So whenever we are arriving at a passbook to cash book balance or cash book to passbook balance, we are trying to say that our balance are equal provided these differences are sorted out. Okay, yes. Yeah, Somil. Yeah,
सर
Gauri.
आइडेंटिफाई कैसे करें कि जब पासबुक बनानी है कब कैश बुक बनानी है, क्योंकि अलग अलग लैंग्वेज में आता है ना, जैसे अराइव एट पासबुक
क्या
आता
हुआ
है।
क्या हुआ, सुनाई नहीं दे रहा है।
पर आइडेंटिफाई कैसे करें कि कब पासबुक बनानी है कब कैश बुक बनानी है।
हाँ, मैंने अभी बोला, जैसे देखिए, जैसे कि अभी 1,50,000 जो पासबुक में है, अगर नॉर्मली मान लीजिए आपको ऐसा दो बैलेंस दिया जाता है, तो पासबुक में अगर जैसे कि 1,50,000 जीरोस है ना, आपका ऐड और लेस करने में दिक्कत नहीं होता है, आप इमीडिएटली करके चले जाओगे। तो आप देखिए दो नंबर में 1,50,000 है, आप 1,12,050 है, लेकिन आप किसी भी तरीके से जा सकते हो, लेकिन वो तरीका अपनाना है जहां पे आपको इजीली काम मतलब टाइम सेव हो जाएगा। तो नॉर्मली नंबर ऑफ जीरोस ज्यादा होता है तो एडिशन सब्ट्रैक्शन में टाइम ज्यादा नहीं लगता, वो हो जाता है जल्दी। नंबर ऑफ जीरोस कम होता है ना, तो एडिशन सब्ट्रैक्शन में थोड़ा टाइम लेता है। तो आप आइडेंटिफाई करेंगे दोनों बैलेंस में से किसका बैलेंस के नंबर में ज्यादा जीरोस है। जिसका जीरोस ज्यादा है उसमें एडिशन डिलीशन थोड़ा इजीली हो जाएगा। जैसे कि देखिए यहाँ 1,50,000 है, उसमें नंबर ऑफ जीरोस ज्यादा है। 1,12,050 में नंबर ऑफ जीरोस कम है, तो वहां से यहाँ अराइव करने में थोड़ा टाइम लगेगा। लेकिन आप पासबुक से कैशबुक जल्दी जा सकते। और नॉर्मली पासबुक में कैशबुक जाना नॉर्मली इजी रहता है, अनलेस नहीं बोलते हैं, क्योंकि आप पासबुक का एरर आपके कंट्रोल में नहीं है, लेकिन कैशबुक का एरर आपके कंट्रोल में होते हैं। वो मैं सब्सिक्वेंट क्वेश्चंस में आपको दिखाऊंगा। ठीक है।
सर अलग अलग लैंग्वेज में लिखा आता है ना, जैसे पर्टिकुलरली बोला जाता है कि कैश बुक बनाओ या पासबुक बनाओ, तो वो
हाँ,
कौन कौन
अगर
सी
सुनो
लैंग्वेज में
देखो,
लिखा
अगर
आता है?
बोला जाता है तो तुमको जो बोला जाता है वही करो। अगर बीआरएस बनाने के लिए खाली बोला जाता है तो तुम्हारे पास ऑप्शन है, अगर पासबुक बैलेंस कैशबुक बैलेंस दोनों दिया गया है तो मैं ये भी दिखाऊंगा कि जब एक बैलेंस दिया जाता है तो क्या किया जाता है। अगर दो बैलेंस दिया गया है तो आप वही वाला चुनो जो आपके लिए इजी होगा। अगर
ओके सर,
दोनों
थैंक यू
बैलेंस
सर।
दिया गया है और आपको सिर्फ बोला गया है बीआरएस बनाने के लिए, लेकिन अगर आपको इंस्ट्रक्शंस है, नॉर्मली आपका आजकल का क्वेश्चंस में मैंने देखा रिसेंट पैटर्न्स में वो लोग इंस्ट्रक्शंस देते हैं कि आप इसी तरह बनाएं। अगर इंस्ट्रक्शंस नहीं है, आपको सिंपली बोला गया है बीआरएस बनाने के लिए, तो आप किसी से भी जा सकते हैं, लेकिन उस तरफ से जाएंगे जिससे आपको ईजी होगा, आपका टाइम सेव होगा और आपको मार्क मिल जाएगा।
सर तो कैसे मतलब इंस्ट्रक्शंस कैसे आ सकते हैं? जैसे कल मैंने क्वेश्चन पढ़ा था, उसमें लिखा था अराइज फ्रॉम कैश बुक एट पासबुक, तो ऐसे कैसे
अराइव
आइडेंटिफाई करें? अराइज फ्रॉम कैश बुक फ्रॉम पासबुक, तो उसको
अराइव फ्रॉम
आइडेंटिफाई कैसे करना है?
अराइव फ्रॉम कैशबुक फ्रॉम पासबुक, ऐसा यूजुअली होता है। अराइव फ्रॉम कैशबुक कैशबुक टू पासबुक, अगर दोनों लिखा गया अराइव फ्रॉम कैशबुक एंड अराइव फ्रॉम पासबुक, तो आप दोनों तरीके से कर सकते हैं। जैसे मैंने एक एग्जांपल दिखाया, इफ इट इज रिटन अराइव फ्रॉम कैशबुक, मतलब आप कैशबुक से पासबुक बैलेंस जाएंगे। इफ इट इज रिटन अराइव फ्रॉम पासबुक, मतलब आप पासबुक से कैशबुक बैलेंस जाएंगे। सो आई विल शो यू दिस टाइप ऑफ प्रॉब्लम्स। आई हैव ऑलरेडी बहुत सारा स्लाइड्स है, वी हैव 2 hours क्लास। सो ये सारा चीज मैंने इनकॉर्पोरेट किया है सब चीज को लेके।
ओके सर, थैंक यू।
ठीक ठीक है। So now you can add the bank charges because you are arriving at the cash book balance. You don't need those bank charges. Whatever bank charges deducted are added back. And then what we do is checks issued but not presented. So whatever is the checks issued and not presented, that is subtracted to arrive at the cash book balance. And then amount which is deposited but not recorded in cash book and the interest which is allowed by bank, both of them are deducted. Now amount deposited but not recorded in cash book. Now this amount is not recorded in cash book and you have subtracted it. Similarly, which is the interest which is not allowed, the interest which is allowed by the bank is also subtracted. So you are going at the balance as per cash book. And this is the total balance we are arriving at, and this is 112,050. So here you are arriving at the total balance. So you took all those bank receipts, this amount deposited but not recorded in cash book, so 15,700, interest which is allowed by a bank. So both of them you have taken, and your balance is as per cash book. I hope it is clear to all of you. If you have still doubt, you can raise a hand. Yes, Sajib Das has raised hand. Yes, Sajib.
Sir, hello, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, tell me.
Sir, how can we change a passbook balance? Because it is our account on the books of bank.
Hmm.
We how can we variation in this balance? Because
We are not. Who said us to change the passbook balance? We are not going to bank and changing the passbook balance. This is our
sir,
internal audit purpose, internal control, to know that whether we are in the same page or not, whether there is some cash embezzlement, whether some extra cash or so one of you asked the question why this is not matching passbook and cash book. Even
sir,
after once, yeah.
हाँ, जब ऐसा सिचुएशन होता है कि हमारा बैंक और कैश अकाउंट मैच नहीं हो रहा है, तो यूजुअली ऑडिट के टाइम पे तो ऐसा होता है ना कि बैंक स्टेटमेंट ले आते हैं, इसमें जो भी वेरिएशन होता है वो एंट्री करके हमारा कैश बुक को एडजस्ट करके उसके साथ मैच कर देते हैं।
तो
फॉर
वही है,
ऑडिट पर्पस।
तो वो वाला मैं अभी तक पहुंचा नहीं, वो टॉपिक को मैं अभी तक पहुंचा नहीं।
नहीं मतलब सर, तो हम जब पासबुक से कैश बुक पे जा रहे हैं तो वहां पे तो हम पासबुक के बैलेंस के साथ प्लस माइनस कर रहे हैं ना।
हाँ,
हाँ तो मतलब ऐसे तो पासबुक का बैलेंस बदल जाएगा। पासबुक का बैलेंस अभी दिखा रहा है
पासबुक का
एक
बैलेंस क्यों बदलेगा? हम लोग ये बीआरएस बना रहे हैं, हम किसी का बैलेंस को नहीं बदल रहे हैं। हम ना पासबुक का बैलेंस को टच कर रहे हैं, ना हम कैशबुक का बैलेंस को टच कर रहे हैं। हम एक बैंक रिकॉन्सिलिएशन स्टेटमेंट बना रहे हैं। कल अगर ऑडिटर पूछेगा कि ये दोनों में अंतर क्यों है, तो हम ये स्टेटमेंट दिखा रहे हैं कि इसके वजह से ही अंतर है।
अच्छा
तो इसके बाद जो जो सॉर्ट आउट हो सकता है वो सॉर्ट आउट किया जाता है।
अच्छा 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 अच्छा। तो ये बस एक स्टेटमेंट है जो शो
हाँ,
करता है कि क्या
जस्ट
क्या
you see,
एरर्स है।
you see what is the heading written? The heading is written Bank Reconciliation Statement as on 31st March 2022.
हाँ हाँ हाँ।
सो नॉर्मली ऑडिट्स को हम लोग जब देते हैं ना, इसके साथ जो कैश बैलेंस हम लोग देते हैं जो हमारे पास रहता है, उसके साथ हम लोग ये अटैच करके यूजुअली देते हैं। सो
हाँ
ऑडिटर उसको रिफर करता है, ठीक है।
थैंक यू।
ओके, so now just when we had this query, he asked the question, we are going to the adjusted cash book. Now what happens is, when do we need an adjustment? Like he asked the question, what you have to do in that case? Now what happens is, sometimes during this audit purpose, now when I prepared the BRS, suddenly I thought I'll prepare a BRS as internal document. Now what happens during the audit purpose, I have to adjust my cash book. I have to adjust my cash book. Then at that time, I have to think of which are the errors to be adjusted, which are the omissions to be adjusted. Now, last time when I showed this problem, some of you said that the error is that it is not the check has not gone to the bank is error. But what exactly is the errors which are to be adjusted, and what are the omissions to be adjusted? You can look at this slide here. I think it is visible to all of you. So errors are generally the incorrect amount which is recorded in the cash book. You are adjusting in the cash book. Entry which is posted twice in the cash book. Either the balance is more overcasting or the balance is less undercasting. These are the errors which you are adjusting. Apart from that, when you are adjusting the cash book, apart from that, as somebody asked just now, he asked a very good question, sir, how can you change the passbook? We are not changing the passbook. Rather, we are adjusting our cash book to passbook by what we are doing is, we are doing bank charges, interest received or charged, direct receipt by the bank, dishonor of checks, whatever bank transactions which is not recorded by the cash book, the same things are recorded. Then what we should reconcile, if these are the things we'll record, what we should reconcile? We should reconcile only the checks, the timing differences. So after the adjusted cash book is prepared, we just reconcile with the timing differences so that we are on the we are making it a clean account by the month, the quarterly audit, all the cash book is intact by doing all the correct entries, and only we are reconciling the passbook to the checks. That way we are saying it that yes, errors have been rectified, omissions have been adjusted, only the checks, there is a time difference, so it is taking time. If the time is, once the time goes away and the checks are realized, our balance will definitely be reflecting in the cash book. So this is the way we are trying to show it. So that's why the first instance also, you have to, sometimes the questions they ask, prepare the adjusted cash book, then they ask, prepare the BRS, bank reconciliation statement. So why they say prepare the adjusted cash book? Because first you have to adjust the cash book for all these errors and omissions. Once the cash book is adjusted, then you reconcile with the timing differences. So I hope it is clear here. We'll go by one problem. So these are the, as you can see, what are the errors to be adjusted and normally which happens in the cash book, and what are the omissions to be adjusted which are there in the passbook. This is one interesting thing. I have taken it, extracted from a study material. This is very important thing also. Please understand it. Please read it. I am pausing for 1.5 minute at least to see that what you are understanding by this. So why we cannot adjust the errors in the passbook? Because they are done by the bank side. So that we can show that this is the error, but we are not going to directly adjust it into the adjusted cash book. During the reconciliation, we are reflecting that error. This has happened in the passbook, but we are not directly adjusting it in the cash book. So first, whenever we see these transactions or events, first we have to know which are the timing differences, which are the transaction differences, which are the errors. Out of that, we have to know what are the omissions and what are the errors to go to the adjusted cash book. Now, from the errors, we have to detect which is the passbook error. If it is a passbook error, it will not go to the adjusted cash book. If it is a cash book error, it will go into the adjusted cash book. So all these events have to be carefully noted, understand every wording of the sentence, what each word tells to signify, what each word wants to express, understand from that English that which is the error which is going to be in the cash book, so I will adjust it, which is the error which is not in the cash book but in the passbook, so that I cannot adjust it. I have to just reflect it in the reconciliation statement that this is the error occurring in the passbook. Only that time only in the reconciliation statement, even if the checks are only there, but you are including the error in the passbook. Otherwise, if it is error in cash book, it is directly adjusted in the cash book. So we will see this balance method, plus minus, not a plus minus, the balance method, and how the adjusted cash book method is going on. So this is one of your book problem in illustration 8. This is Garbadwala, whose balance is 8,36,400 as on 31st December 2022. But you find that it does not agree with the balance as per bank passbook. And when there's a scrutiny, it's not agreeing with the balance. Of course, it is not agreeing. And here the balance at bank is not given. Now somebody was asking whether we should go to cash book or passbook. Here you see the bank balance is not given, only the cash book balance is given. And there are some discrepancies which is there. So out of these discrepancies, can you identify which are the errors? Who can say the errors? What are the errors here? Yes, Naina raised the hand. Yes, Naina.
Yes, sir.
Tell me what.
So the first one, on 15 December 2022, the payment signed of cash book was undercast by 10,000.
The
The fourth one.
Fourth one was an error. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Any
And
other error you are finding?
the question, point number 7, one outgoing check
Okay,
of
I'm right
3,50,000.
now I'm asking only about point 1 to 4.
In 1.1 to 4, the first and the fourth one is error.
First and the fourth one. Okay. So Naina has said about first and the fourth one. Now who is there? Piyush Sharma. Yes. Piyush Sharma, you can speak. Piyush Sharma.
Hello.
Yes, Piyush.
Sir, second one. A check for 1,31,000 issued on 25th December. It was a timing error.
On
deposit of 1 lakh was recorded in the case book, but not recorded.
Timing error. Okay. How
Yes,
you are
sir.
thinking is the timing error?
Because, sir, it was not recorded.
Where not recorded?
On 31st December.
Okay. Is it mentioning that thing in the point number 2?
Sir, it was issued 25th December.
Then what is written?
Was not taken in the bank column.
What does it mean?
बैंक कॉलम में एंट्री नहीं हुई है.
तो बैंक कॉलम एंट्री नहीं हुई मतलब किसने एंट्री नहीं किया?
कैश बुक एरर.
कैश बुक एरर है. ओके. तो नैना ने बोला फर्स्ट और फोर्थ एरर है, तुमने बोला सेकंड वाला एरर है. ठीक है. नाउ फर्स्ट वाला के बारे में तुम्हारा क्या पॉइंट है? ये एरर है कि नहीं?
यस सर है, क्योंकि उसने अंडरकास्ट मतलब कम रिकॉर्ड किया है 10,000 से.
एरर किसने किया है इसको?
कैश बुक वाले ने.
कैश बुक वाले ने एरर किया है. ओके, वेरी गुड वेरी गुड. थर्ड वाला देखते हैं. थर्ड वाला क्या हुआ है?
case or is
थर्ड वाला क्या हुआ है?
कैश बुक में एंट्री हो चुकी है, पासबुक में एंट्री नहीं हुई है।
थर्ड वाला कैश बुक में एंट्री हो चुकी है, पासबुक में एंट्री नहीं हुई। कैसे सोचते हो? व्हाई वी थिंक दैट इट इज द डिपॉजिट ऑफ 1,50,000 रिकॉर्ड इन कैश बुक बट नॉट इन पासबुक?
क्योंकि उसमें बैंक कॉलम ही नहीं है।
बैंक कॉलम कहाँ रहता है? पासबुक में रहता है या कैश बुक में रहता है?
कैश बुक में।
तो गलती किसका है?
कैश बुक का।
तो हम बैंक के बारे में क्यों सोच रहे थे? व्हाई वी थिंकिंग ऑफ बैंक व्हेन इन द बैंक कॉलम इट इज नॉट एंटर्ड?
यस सर।
ओके, सो फोर्थ वन किसका गलती है? डेबिट बैलेंस को ब्रॉट फॉरवर्ड किया गया क्रेडिट बैलेंस करके कैश बुक में, जबकि 15,260 शुड बी पॉजिटिव इन द कैश बुक, इट इज ब्रॉट फॉरवर्ड एज अ माइनस बैलेंस, क्रेडिट बैलेंस। सो हुज मिस्टेक इट इज? किसका गलती है?
कैश बुक होल्डर।
कैश बुक ऑन कैश बुक ना पासबुक?
Cash book.
That means this is the cashier side. There is a mistake in the of Mr. Gadwadwala company. So if you see here, what we observe when we discussed with this, I hope all of you understood. If anybody didn't understand, please raise hands on these 4 events. So what we see that these 4 are the actually errors which have been committed by the cashier side. So normally errors is minor, but in this question, there are so many errors. Some 4 points are errors in this question here. Now, if any doubt anybody has on this, please you can tell me. So there are 4 errors here. Now what we'll do is let us go to the 5, 6, and 7. Okay. In the point 5th, what it is telling? Is it checks deposited but not credited, or checks issued not presented? Who can say this answer? 5th point. So BRS में सबसे important, the most important thing is we have to understand the sentences. Okay, Naina has raised hands. Very good, Naina.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Naina, tell me. In the 5th point, whether it is checks deposited but not credited or checks issued but not presented.
So it is check issued but not presented.
Very good. Why did you think like this?
So because here it is written that checks are drawn in the last week of December 2022, and drawn is from our side, that is we issued the check to the creditors.
And what does it mean when 7815 were encashed in December means?
It means that the amount of 7,815 were only encashed, that is presented for payment, and the rest amount is not yet to be presented for payment.
Yes, very good. So this is one of the timing differences due to the check issued but not presented. Now, this is a transaction difference because dividends is collected by bank and subscription of 1,000 were paid by it, which is not recorded in the cash book. Out of that, this dividend is actually inflow because it is a bank receipt and this 1,000 is a bank payment. Seventh one, I would want to ask, is it an error or it is a timing difference?
Sir, error.
Error, sir. Error.
Error. Very good. Very good. So now we have to, very good, it's error. Now we have to arrive at the passbook balance. Now here you see in this question, cash book balance is given and you are said to prepare a bank reconciliation statement. So that means when somebody was asking, sir, what to do in that situation, it is implying that you should prepare the BRS or bank reconciliation statement from the cash book to the passbook. Am I clear? From the cash book, you have to prepare it to the passbook. So now we got the errors. We know there are some timing difference, one timing difference. We know that there are some transaction differences. Now we have to sort it out to arrive at a passbook balance. Now from the cash book, when I'm going into the passbook, I have to leave all the cash book records and I have to accept all the passbook records. And in the meanwhile, there are some errors in the cash book. So those errors has to be dealt with. Now, how I am dealing with these errors? Let us see. Now we'll go to this fourth point, that debit balance was brought forward as a credit balance in the cash book. So what happens? Credit balance is a minus, but actually it should be debit balance plus. So what you should do, you have to first delete the wrong entry. You have to delete the wrong entry, and second is you have to post the correct entry. So what you have to do is, first you have to do a rectification, and then only you can get a correct entry. So for rectification, what you have to do is, you have to first nullify this entry. You have to nullify this 15260 to 15260 so that you can another add a 15260. So that means 3520 entry has to be taken, which is not taken, because instead of debit, the balance has become credit. To rectify it, to remove this 15260, you have to take 3520. So this is where you are having the, then only your cash book will increase. So here, if there is any doubt, please ask me, then I can move further. If any doubt, you can raise hands. Okay. So under cash payment side was, if you see the first error, now we're finding the errors. What is the errors, so that we can prepare the BRS. Payment side was under cash by 10,000, means the cash book has decreased by 10,000. Second error, the cashier committed is 1,31,000 was not taken in bank statement, means it is a error. If it is then the cash book will decrease. Deposit of, yes, Akshit has raised hand. Akshit, yes. Akshit, you want to say something?
Sir, check deposited but not yet cleared with add or less? Check deposited but not yet cleared. It will increase or decrease?
Check deposited but not yet cleared.
Yes, sir.
Yes, when the check is deposited but not yet clear, it will increase the cash book balance, because it is not cleared by the bank, but your cash book balance has increased.
If not deposited means?
No, not deposited means, where is the question of clearing? If you deposit it but not clear is okay. Check not deposited means, okay. Where you have a doubt, can you say the statement? Which statement you have a doubt? Which number? Because if you deposit it, then it goes for clearing. If you don't deposit a check, how will it go for clearing? So here you can see one outgoing check. What is the meaning of outgoing check? Can anybody say what is the meaning of outgoing check? Yes, Naina. 2 participants raised hands. Okay, let us ask Prajwal. Naina is answering everything correctly, so we'll ask Prajwal.
Issued check.
Prajwal. Yes?
Checks we have issued.
Yes, very good. Very good, Prajwal. Checks which are issued, 3,50,000, but it should be once recorded, but it is recorded twice in the cash book. Okay, so all these errors have to be now dealt with by the adjusted cash book. So when you are going for the adjusted cash book, we will try to close. Now, first of all, let us understand it from 2 angles. If I am preparing the normally without adjustment, I am going to the balance as per cash book, and I am going to the passbook. Let us not get confused. First of all, we think without adjustment, what would have happened? Okay. So whenever we have a balance as per cash book, what is happening is we are going to the passbook now. So first of all, whatever debit is there, we are adding it up. Okay. Whatever check should be there, we are adding it up. Mistakes in this debit balance, which is coming as the credit balance. So the debit is added up. So that means I have increased the balance. I've rectified my cash balance. And what they did, that addition has been done to rectify my cash balance, because since I am going to the passbook, before going to the passbook, I must rectify the errors in the cash book. Then only I can arrive at the passbook. So first what I did is I added this 15260. Then I added the check issued but not presented. Just a second. Hello? Yeah, madam. Madam, I'm in a class. I'll call you back, madam, immediately. Yeah. So, checks issued but not presented. Then you can see here that checks issued is 11,514, where from here it is yes, Prajal.
Sir, can we first adjust the cash book and then we can prepare VRS, sir?
Yes, yes,
Can we
absolutely.
do?
But I'm just showing if you have not adjusted how you would have taken. Then I will show
So we
when it is
can solve
adjusted how
this
to take it.
problem on that way also, sir.
We can solve.
On that way also. First adjust the cash book and then we can prepare the BRS.
Yeah, because instruction is to adjust and prepare it. But just I'm showing it that how you are doing it if you are not adjusting it. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So what happens is now you can see that you are whatever checks you have recorded twice in the cash book, here you are adding it. And whatever deposit which is not recorded in the bank column, you are also adding. Now you can see that the errors you are rectifying itself in the cash book to arrive at the passbook balance. So what are the things are becoming very clumsy. You see, you are adjusting the errors and you're also taking the checks issued. So checks which are recorded twice means 350 would have been twice would have been recorded. Now you're adding it back to increase the balance of your cash book. Deposit which is not recorded in bank column, you're adding that to increase your balance in the cash book. So that errors you're rectifying in the cash book itself while you are arriving at the passbook balance. So it's becoming a clumsy one, but you're trying to do that. Then this undercast was there, so that 10,000 only 1/10, which means the difference was 10,000 was shortfall. Less it is undercast. You have to increase that balance. So you are making it normal. So 10,000 undercast, you are rectifying it. Then checks issued, which is not entered in the bank column, that also you are taking it. Then you are taking the bank charges here because you have to arrive at the bank balance and then you are doing it. So you can see here, if you have any doubt, you can ask me, but things are going very clumsily. You are trying to do it, but you can see that. So just checks issued not presented. How I am doing it in the adjusted cash book. When I'm going in the adjusted cash book, now you can see how quickly and how effectively we are reducing our errors. First, we brought the balance. You can see the error for wrong posting. Okay, 3520 should have been come by the debit side. But what happened is on the credit side, it is showing 15260. So 3520 you got. Dividends which are collected by the bank, you have taken it on the debit side. Checks which are recorded twice, you are deleting the checks by all this credit of which will decrease the cash balance. You are crediting it, and which would have been credited, you are debiting it and compensating it. Deposit which is not recorded, you are taking it and you are increasing your cash balance. Now you're decreasing your cash balance by taking wrong casting, by checks which are not entered, by subscriptions which bank has paid, and finally you get your balance of 12,49,920. So you can see on the debit side, I have taken all the error rectification and all the adjustments. On the credit side, I have taken all the errors rectification, which would have increased the cash balance, but I have taken those errors so that the cash balance is decreased. So debit side, that is the left-hand side, I have taken all the entries which will increase the cash balance. Credit side, I have taken all the entries which will decrease the cash balance, so that my cash book is now perfectly adjusted. I have taken for all the errors and the bank transactions. Now, please ask me if there is any doubt here. I will go slow if required, or we will continue it in the next session also. But please tell me here if any doubt. Any of the errors, these 4 errors which we discussed. If you tell also, I'll go back to that error. I will link that error with this table. You can raise hands if anywhere you have doubt. Yes, Ashwika has raised hand. Very good. Ashwika. Yes, Ashwika, tell me.
Sir, I have understand this in a half manner, sir. Could you repeat it again? This
Which
columns.
one? Which
No, sir,
column?
this cash book column, sir.
Adjusted cash book?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Just you have opened that notebook. Have you written it? Whatever question I gave, have you taken a snapshot of it? Ashwika, can you hear me? Ashwika, can you hear me? Have you taken a snapshot of this question?
Sir, yes, sir.
Okay. You have the transactions with you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. See this error for wrong posting. Why I am taking it on the debit side? Can you tell me?
So because like it was in the credit side, sir, instead of
Exactly.
debit
Very
side.
good. So you took it in the
So we
debit
have
side to
doubled it,
rectify it.
sir.
Very good.
Yes, sir.
So you brought the balance on the debit side, which is 8,36,400, and the credit side wrong posting. That to rectify it, you made a 3520 wrong posting because that balance transfer was wrong. So to rectify it, you made a debit entry of error for wrong posting because cash book is an asset balance, debit side is increased and credit side is decreased. Correct? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now, dividends collected by a bank. Why you mentioned it in the debit side?
Because they collected from my side, so they become debtors.
Yes, very good. You got income from the bank due to dividends, and you mentioned it on the debit side. So what you are doing is you are adjusting error and also omissions. What is this? Dividends is omission because it is not known to the cash book. It is omission because it is not known to the cash book, but is known to the bank book, bank passbook. So that which is not recorded in cash book, but actually in passbook, that type of transactions you are taking here as adjustments. Okay. So in adjusted cash book, you take errors in the cash book transactions and also the omissions in the passbook transactions. Okay. Whatever is there known to passbook but not known to cash book, that transactions are also adjusted here. Now you can see here, you first corrected the one error, okay, which is done by the cashier. Second is you also took the dividends which is collected by bank, which is actually an omission. It's not an error, it is an omission because it's recorded in the bank book, but not in the. Then come to the checks recorded twice. Why you are adding it in the debit side, Ashwika?
Sir, come again.
Checks recorded twice. Why you are using writing it in the debit side?
So that one I have the doubt, sir.
Yes. See, checks recorded twice means what? What is the meaning of checks recorded? Checks issued or checks deposited?
Sir, they have written it as twice, but
Yeah, Prajal has raised hands. Yeah, Prajal, you want to say something?
Sir, because we have issued the twice the amount of the check, sir.
That's what was our question. How would you know it is issued? Can you tell Prajal to her that how we can know it is issued?
Sir, because they have mentioned, sir.
What they have mentioned? Can you read that line?
Sir, hello?
Yes, I'm hearing.
Outgoing check was 350,000 was recorded twice in the cash book. So it is outgoing check. So we should assume that as issued check.
Very good. Understood, Ashwika?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Okay. So that was in the issued side. So now two times is wrongly done. No, you have to rectify it. So in the rectified it by increasing the cash balance on the debit side. So you wrote that narration is why 3,50,000 increase. Otherwise, somebody will ask how could the 3,50,000 cash balance increase? Your particular says that the checks I have recorded twice, so 3,50,000 increased. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Then next is deposit not recorded. Why it is on the debit side?
So, no idea, sir.
Yeah.
No idea, sir. I didn't get that one.
Deposit not recorded means?
Sir, the bank becomes the debtor and we become creditors. So
it is a deposit. It is a check deposit. Okay.
Yes, sir.
You have deposited the check in the bank. Bank may take its own time, but since you have deposited the check as a cashier, you should record it in your cash book.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So,
That is another. Yes.
Yes, sir. I get it.
Got it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now what happens? All this side debit side you got 13,91,920. Now come to the credit side. Why you did wrong casting 10,000?
Sir, because it was an undercasting, sir. So we should
Undercast.
go. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Correct? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now next is checks not entered. Why you kept 1,31,000?
Sir, because we didn't take from the banks, it's still there. So, like, as a credit side, we should.
Can you read the transaction? 1,31,000. What it is saying?
A check for 1,31,000 issued on 25th December 2022 was not taken in the bank column.
So who didn't take in the bank column?
Sir?
Cashier or banker?
Sir, I didn't get it. Come again.
It is written that not taken in the bank column. So
Yes,
all the students, I request do not be confused When it is bank column means it is the bank column of cash book. Means the moment the word bank column comes in the question, don't get confused with the error by the cashier. Okay. We have a triple column cash book. In the first class, I have showed you the triple column cash book. Triple column cash book, what it has? One discount column is there, one cash column is there, one bank column is there, right?
Yes, sir.
So in that bank column, you should enter all the bank transactions.
Yes, sir.
Whether check issued, whether dividends collected, all this. So that person has not entered that 1,31,000 in the bank column of the cash book. That means it is the error by the cashier. So it has to be adjusted, not by the bank.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so what we did in the credit side, we did by checks not entered 1,31,000. Correct now?
Yes, sir.
Then what happened? Bank has taken some subscription charges, debited some subscription charges, 1,000 rupees deducted from the company account, and which is not known to the cash book. So cashier should adjust that because it is an omission. It's omission because it is not known to the cashier. It is known only to the banker. So since it's an omission, you now mention it in the credit side. So you adjusted for all the errors and omissions in the adjusted cash book. So remember, adjusted cash book takes all the errors and omissions.
Yes, sir.
Correct?
Yes, sir. Correct, sir.
Okay. So now I think you are okay, all of you, on the same page. So now you can see this is the balance carried down. Now what you are doing is you are only adding the checks issued but not presented because the errors in the cash book has been rectified. See how clean it is. If you prepare the adjusted cash book, how neatly things are done, then you have balance as per passbook. Correct? Okay. Now you see here, this is what we have to find out what has happened here. Any error you are finding in this 1 to 7? Just look at the statement. Anybody can raise hand if they're finding any errors in this 1 to 7 points. Ashwika has raised hands. Very good. Ashwika. Yes, Ashwika, you can speak.
Yes, sir. The seventh one, sir.
Seventh one, a check for 27,000 drawn by B. Philip had been charged to A. Philip's bank account by mistake in December 2022. So since it is mistake, you found that this is a error. Okay.
Yes.
Now, who has done the error? It's two participants raised hands. Yash and Naina. Yes. Yash and Naina. Anybody can speak.
Yes, sir.
Yash.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Can you speak?
Sir, where is Shah, sir? Shah, sir.
What?
Shah, sir. Account से शाह सर कहाँ पे है? उनका लेक्चर नहीं आज?
नहीं, what you are asking, I cannot understand.
Where is Shah, sir? Today is not lecture of him.
No, you ask a doubt which is relevant to this topic. What doubt I cannot understand and it's not relevant to this topic, how can I answer? Yes, Naina?
Yes, sir.
Who has committed this error?
So the cashier.
Cashier. Okay. So Naina has said the cashier has committed the error. Okay. Anybody else? Prajwal?
Sir, the bank cashier has been mistakenly deposited into, credited from here, I think.
Correct. Prajwal? Correct. Okay, good. Bank has done the mistake. Check has been drawn by B. Philip. Okay. Account is of A. Philip. A. Philip cash book. So check has been drawn by B. Philip, had been charged to A. Philip's bank account by mistake. So let us understand this English. Check is drawn by B. Philip. Drawn is already issued and it has been presented to bank. Charged means bank has charged it. Otherwise, you cannot charge it to somebody's. You sitting here, you cannot charge it to some yours bank account unless, of course, now is days of internet banking. But a check you cannot take yourself, and you cannot uh, take it and put it in your bank account unless you give it to a banker. The medium is banker. The banker will give it to your account. Now, instead of banker giving it to B Philip account, banker has charged it to A Philip bank account. So when there is a checks, the medium is bank. So you B Philip give it to bank to get it to his own account, but bank instead of B Philip made it to A Philip bank account. I think it is clear, all of you.
Sir, we should not adjust this entry, no, sir.
This is not the mistake of the cashier. Let us see what the question says. Okay, first of all, we can see here checks issued and checks deposited have been mentioned here. I think you all know. Yes. Yeah. Sajeev wants to say something.
Hello, sir. I have a doubt in point
Yes.
4.
Point 4.
हाँ
Yes. Tell me.
इसमें लिखा है कि a dividend of rupees 3,80,000 paid directly to the bank, but it is not recorded in the cash book.
Yes.
तो हाँ ये एक एरर है जो हम रेक्टिफाई करेंगे इसके बुक्स ऑफ अकाउंट्स में, कैश बुक में. ठीक है.
This is not error. This is omission.
हाँ, दिस इज ओमिशन.
Yes.
ओके, जो हमने कैश बुक में रिकॉर्ड नहीं किया. तो सर ये हम कैश बुक में क्यों लिख रहे हैं? ये तो हम जब रेक्टिफिकेशन कर रहे हैं तब भी हम वो कैश बैलेंस में ऐड कर दे सकते हैं कि हाँ ये अमाउंट जो है वो बैंक
Because
में तो आ
that
गया
is
था.
because that is not known immediately unless you get the passbook. What happens? You are the cashier. You are sitting. When the passbook arrives at you, in the passbook you see that there is a dividend which is paid to the bank directly. Once you see it, then you start adjusting your cash book.
Okay.
That's what's known as adjusted cash book. Okay.
Okay.
Unless you see the passbook, how will you? Because I wrote here dividend of 3 lakh. If you have not written that fourth point and I would have asked how much dividend, you would not have been able to say.
Yes, yes.
Okay. So now what happens is, this is a timing difference. This is a check dishonor. 73,000 have been dishonored. There is a check dishonor. These are transaction differences. And this is a Pranav Bhatt has raised hands. Yes. Pranav. Yes, Pranav.
Sir, I have joined now. I have gone city for some problem. I want to know about this, sir.
Okay, no worries. Whenever I am discussing, you will be hearing it, and you will,
Okay,
when the slides are shared, you can revise it. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So now you see what is the question is. The question is first asking you to make appropriate adjustments in the cash book, bringing down the correct balance. Then you prepare a statement which is reconciling the adjusted balance in the cash book with the balance shown in the bank statement. So first of all, you have to adjust the cash book for a correct balance. Then you prepare the BRS. So here what you do is, like I discussed, all the errors and omissions have been taken here, and here all the checks issued or presented have to be taken, timing differences. So let us see the omissions here. This is a positive omission. It will go to the debit side of the cash book. This is a negative omission. It will go to the credit side of the cash book. This is a, what does it mean? Who can say? No entry has been made in the cash book for a trade subscription of 10,000 paid by banker's order in November 2022. What does it mean? Who can say? What is a banker's order is? Yeah, Naina has raised hands. Yes, Naina.
So we are allowing the bank to pay on behalf of us.
Very good, Naina. It is a standing instruction. It is a standing instruction given, and based on the standing instruction, you are telling the bank to pay, but you had no knowledge of it. When the bank did it, you have given a standing instruction. You have no idea of it, and it should go to the credit side. Now you understood which one will go to the debit side, and you all understood which one will go to the credit side out of these entries. Now let us see the other omissions. Check is dishonored, and no record of this is in the cash book. Now, when a check is dishonored, it will reduce the cash balance, so it should go to the credit side. Come to this. What happened? B. Philip, as I said, went to bank, and in A. Philip bank account, this has happened. Now, problem is, the point is, whatever happened is error in the passbook, because check is of B. Philip gone to the bank, but it went to A. Philip account. So it is a error in the passbook. So how we will deal with all this? Let us check on it. Now we are preparing the adjusted cash book. We have debit, credit to and date and particulars. Balance brought down is 4610. And the dividend received, we brought on the debit side, 3,80,000. We brought it on the debit side. The check which is dishonored, is on the credit side, 73,000. Check has been dishonored. Then the rest two omissions which reduce the cash balance are bank interest and bank charges, 4,200, and the trade subscription, 10,000. Now, when we go this, we see that the debit side balance is more than the credit side, and we get the balancing figure. So we got the balance brought down as 297,410. So students should prepare that this adjusted cash book, they should prepare by hand, and they should always practice it. Once you practice by yourself through hand only, you'll be able to understand, and quickly you can grasp the format. You have to practice it by your own self, by hand. You have to write it, and once you write it, take the logic. What should be the plus side, debit side? What should be the minus side, credit side? Once you do it, definitely you'll be able to answer all the questions. Now, this is the perfect cash balance according to the data. The information is given. You adjusted it. You go to the perfect cash balance. Then you have two information, which is checks issued not presented, checks deposited not credited. Now you can see you have got the balance on the cash book. You add the checks not presented because you have to go to the bank balance. So you have to add the checks issued not presented, and you have to checks deposited not credited, lodgement not recorded by the bank, 2,50,000. You have to check it. You have to deduct it because you are arriving at the bank balance. Because the mistake was done with the bank, and that has to remove. So you are writing it here as check wrongly charged. So whenever you are arriving from cash book balance to the passbook balance, you are deducting this bank charge which has been excess, the check which is wrongly charged, right? This is, you are arriving at the bank statement, so the check which is wrongly charged will be deducted. So this is the error which is in the passbook. So that's how we are arriving at the balance as per bank statement. So if there is any doubt here, you can ask me. So you had a doubt that how will I consider the check which is wrongly charged? So you can show to the auditor whenever showing the bank statement, bank reconciliation statement, that this was the check which is wrongly charged. So we have actually the bank balance statement should be like this. So I think it is clear. Yeah, somebody has raised hand. Somebody asked, somebody has raised hands. Okay, no doubt. No raising hands is seen now. Now, here we see here what is happening is there is a bill of exchange included in the problem. Okay, Gauri has raised hand. Yeah, Gauri, tell me.
Hello.
Gauri, tell me.
Sir, please show me previous slides.
Yes,
Sir.
just a second. Yes.
So, according to cash book balance, we have 2,97,410, sir.
Yes.
After preparing BRS statement, sir, we have balance as per passbook, sir.
Because, yeah, we don't have that number, but we prepared it accordingly to get a balance as per bank statement.
Our main intention is making both are equal, sir.
No. Our main intention is reconciling them to show we cannot go to bank and make them equal. I repeat it. Transactions will always happen. Our main objective is to have an efficient internal control that our funds are not going in a wrong direction. Try to understand the purpose of bank reconciliation. We are showing the transparency in our accounts. Balances may never match because checks are coming and going. Transactions are happening every moment. Balances may never match. But what happens is, why the cause of difference is there? We are showing the cause of difference. Okay. So whenever I am trying to say that if this difference is solved, then my bank statement and cash book is 650,410. Are you able to understand?
Okay, sir.
But what happens practically if the checks are not presented today, by tomorrow they may be presented. Checks which are deposited, which are not credited till now, they will be credited. So differences will come time and again. What is the differences? The difference will definitely come because transactions are happening like that. But that doesn't mean that we are not transparent on our transactions. We are showing the transparency by preparing the bank reconciliation statement. We are saying that our funds are not out of control. It is in control of the company.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. So here we can see that there is a bill of exchange problem is also there. I have included it because as I discussed in bill of exchange, they are asking on the bill of exchange questions also. Can you identify? We have found checks transaction to check transaction. Can you identify any error here? What are the errors here? Can anybody identify the errors? Yes.
So the payment side is undercasted by 5,000.
Payment side is? Yes.
Undercasted by the 5,000.
5,000. That is the error. Correct.
Then bill receivable has not been entered in the cash book, sir.
Bill receivable.
Yes,
for
sir.
60,000 discount with the bank has not
The cash book has received the cashier has received the amount before only, no, sir.
Rajal, how let us understand this clearly. How the bill receivable amount will get it, cashier will get to know about it.
When he get the bill, he will discount with the bank, sir. The bank pays him with deducting some charges.
So how will the cashier know?
So he has received the amount, no, sir.
How will the cashier know he has received the amount?
By discounting the bill, sir. Bill.
How much is the bill discounted amount?
60,000.
Bill receivable is 60,000. When you discount with bank, will the bank give you 60,000? Will the bank is doing service free of charge?
It will charge, sir. It will charge 1,000 rupees.
Very good. Very good project. Will charge 1,000 rupees. Okay.
Yeah.
Because bank is also an organization, and when it is performing services, it needs some remuneration, fees, service charges. So it discounted it with a service charge. Now, how will we think that cashier should know?
Not sure about that, sir.
Cashier will be able to know when you show the passbook. Until that time, cashier will not be able to know that the bill receivable has been. Suppose there is a bill receivable. I am the cashier. I give it to the bank today.
Yes, sir.
Not necessarily that will do it. It may do today.
Yeah.
After 2 days or 3 days. In that
Yes, sir.
short period, within a 5 working days, it will do it. Now, when it is doing it, when it has done it, now there are some thousands and thousands of bills which are going. So that
It's timing different, right?
cashier will only know when it sees the passbook. So
Yes, sir. Got
it. Actually coming under omission. Okay.
Got it.
Got it. Okay. So you have got some transactions errors. This is transactions, then is there errors, and this green is for transactions. This one is timing, and one is the error. Under cash is the error. Now let us see what you have to do is you have to prepare an adjusted cash book and prepare a statement reconciling. These two we have to do it. Now we can see a dividend of 40,000 and rent amounting to 6 lakhs received by the bank entered in the passbook, but not occurs. This is another omission. 60,000 discounted with bank 1,000, so you are getting 59,000 as we have discussed. So from 60,000 we are getting 59,000. Insurance premium paid by the bank 27,000, not in the cash book. It should go to the credit side of the cash book. Bank charges should also go to the credit side. So we are taking credit side transactions. Bills payable 2 lakh has been paid by the bank. So bills payable will go to the credit side. Bill receivable will go to the debit side. Bills payable will go to the credit side because bills credit receivable is like accounts receivable. So it will increase the cash balance. Bills payable is like, accounts payable. So there is a chance of decreasing the cash balance. So 2 lakhs has been paid, but was not entered. Payment side was undercast. So you have to increase the credit side because it's undercast and it is a cash book error. So one is the debit side, left hand side is the credit side. You have the balance brought down for like 50,000. You have the payments. Now dividend 40,000 comes to debit side. You received money. Rent also you received money. Bill receivable discounted. You got 60,000 minus 1, 50,000, 59,000. So your balance is 51 lakh 49,000. Insurance premium 27,000 has to be deducted. Error correction undercast 5,000 has to be again taken. Then bank charges 1,500 and bills payable you have to take it 2 lakhs. So your balance carried down goes to 49,000, 49 lakhs 15,500. So you're getting 12 lakhs 49,000. So here, if you have any doubt, you can ask me. This is the adjusted cash book on the bank column. So you have taken all the errors and the omissions. So bills payable, bills receivables normally come under omissions because these are not known to the cashier unless we see the passbook. So there is no raising hands. So I assume that there is no doubt here. So 49 lakh 15,000 you got it. So this is about the checks which I have mentioned. So if you see checks issued but not presented, checks deposited but not credited. So when you want to get checks deposited, now as you can see here, it is shown here that first condition is checks amounting 6 lakhs have been issued to creditors have not been presented for payment. So this is coming under checks issued but not presented. Now you are preparing the BRS. So you need the timing differences. So checks credited out of 1 lakh, 11 lakh 5,000, only 5 lakh 50,000. So checks deposited but not credited is checks deposited minus checks credited. So it comes to 11 lakh 5,000 minus 5 lakh 55,000. So it comes to 5 lakh 55,000. So you are now preparing the adjusted balance as per cash book. It's a debit balance, positive balance. Add your checks issued but not presented for payment, 6 lakhs. Then checks paid into bank for collection but not collected till 30th June, 5 lakh 50,000. And then you get your balance as per passbook. Once you add all this, you get a balance as per passbook. I hope you understood, or if you have any doubt here, you can ask me. So when you have a cash balance to adjust, definitely you know that you have to arrive at a passbook balance. So if the question is asking you about adjusted cash balance, remember that then you are arriving at the passbook balance. Whenever the question is asking, first prepare the adjusted cash balance, second prepare the BRS, means immediately know that once you adjust the cash book, then you have to arrive at the passbook. Can you tell me here, this is another type of errors we are dealing with. Can you tell me the error here from 1 to 7, any error you are finding? So sometimes questions come in different formats. Yes, Ashwika.
Sir, sixth one, sir.
Yes, 11,200 paid into the bank have been entered twice into the cash book. Yes. So this is the error committed by whom? This error is committed by whom? This error is committed by the cashier. Okay. Now, what is the meaning of the 7th point? What is the meaning of the 7th point? Can anybody tell about the meaning of the 7th point? Yes, Mehak Parasha raised hand. Yes. Yeah. Tell.
So the check is being deposited in the bank.
I'm not able to hear you, please. Mehak, can you say I'm not able to hear you? Okay, 2 participants raised hands. Mehak Parasha. Naina, yes.
So can you hear me?
Yes?
So I'm saying that paid into deposit in the bank.
So, okay, I'm not able to hear you. Naina, can you say?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, tell me what is the meaning, 7th point?
So there has been a reduction in the bank statement for 11 lakh, but the check had been returned, that is out of date, and the customer redeposited, but it was after the bank reconciliation was prepared.
What is the meaning of out of date? What is the meaning of out of date? Usually they try to ask such type of questions so that students should understand it clearly, or they have to be confused, and even they are confused, they have to clear their confusion, right? So this is the type of question they ask. What is the meaning of out of date? Sometimes they ask such type of questions when we have to
The time for presentation of the check had been
Yes, very good. Time of presentation has exceeded. It is a stale check. So suppose anytime you do not understand a question, just try to understand the flow. What happened? What must have happened? If you do not understand, yes. So what the flow is, that 11 lakhs is an unpaid check, but it was again redeposited by customer. So it is coming under a check which is deposited. It is coming under a check which is deposited. Okay, now out of this, one error we located is 11,200 paid into the bank,
Sir,
entered twice in the cash book.
third one is an error, sir. Third.
Third one. Kajal is saying third one is an error. Why third one is an error?
He haven't minus the cash discount, sir.
Very good. He haven't minus the cash discount. So third one is an error. He haven't minus the cash discount. So now we will try to see each of these events and how we have to solve it. We have a favorable balance. When it is saying favorable balance, always remember bank statement showing a favorable balance means cash balance is debit 10 lakh 9,000. Favorable balance means for bank it is credit balance, for cash book it is debit balance. So it is showing a favorable balance means debit balance of 10 lakh 39. So whenever your question comes like this, favorable balance, bank statement showing favorable balance means for a cash book it is a debit balance and for a passbook it is a credit balance. Okay. So that is the meaning of a favorable balance. So these are the timing differences. This is one transaction which is no entry has been made in the cash book and omission. This is an error. This is again the green line is omission. This is again an error. And this is again a timing difference also because of the check which has been redeposited. Now we have to just prepare the BRS. So what we have been given one balance and we have to prepare a BRS. First of all, if you see deposit of 39,200 paid on 29 June has not been credited by the bank. So it's coming under check deposited but not credited. Transactions. Say there is a hire purchase agreement. No entries has been made in the cash book. Okay. So here you can see 30th March 2022, company has entered into a hire purchase agreement to pay by the bank. They order a sum of rupees 3 lakh on the 10th of each month, commencing from April. No entries has been made in the cash book. Means what happens? This is like a banker's advisor standing instruction. So 10th of each month means from April it started the payment. 10th April it is 3 lakhs. 10th May it is 3 lakhs. 10th June it is 3 lakhs. So total it is 9 lakhs. So bank has been instructed to pay 9 lakhs. It is an omission. That's why it is not made in a entry has been made in the cash book. Company has entered into agreement, but it is not in the knowledge of the cashier. So bank charges amounting 3,000 has not been entered in the cash book. It's deducted. Customer directly deposits the amount. Now customer, if it is, we have to see such type of statements, what it means. When it customer means it directly it is a receipt. Now you can see here this customer, the firm who received a cash discount of 4% on his account of 4 lakhs, paid the firm a check on 12 June, erroneously entered the gross amount. So as we discussed now, the amount should be 3,84,000 check amount. But what happened is the cashier recorded it as 4 lakhs. So the error is 4 lakh minus 3 lakh. It is 16,000 has been the error made by the cashier. That means excess has been recorded by the cashier. So the cashier has erroneously entered the excess amount in the bank column of the cash book. Now 11,200 paid into the bank has been entered twice in the cash book, means it has been paid twice. So your 11,200 has been paid twice. You have to nullify 11,200 and you have to take only 11,200. So 11,200 has been paid twice in the cash book. So once it has paid into the bank, again it has been recorded twice. So once it is recorded in the cash book twice, you have to take only one entry. So now you can see the balance which is as per the passbook. And when the passbook balance is there, what you have to add it here in the passbook balance, you have to add all the check deposited because we are arriving at the cash book balance, and we have to less all the checks issued. Now, when the balance as per passbook is 10,39,000, deposited with bank but not credited 309,200, hire purchase installments 9 lakhs, discount allowed wrongly entered in the bank column. Now, what happens is this discount which is allowed is wrongly entered in the bank column. So that is again added it because even though actually you have received that much, but in the bank column, it has been wrongly added. That error has been wrongly taken in the cash book. Bank charges, which is not entered in the cash book, and deposits which are entered in the cash book twice, you are using it. Just you have added it, all of them. Okay. So here, if you see, this is deposited with bank but not credited. Payment of high purchase, you have added it. Discount also you have added it because you're arriving the cash book. Bank charges is that bank entries which has not entered in the cash book, we are adding it back. You should not go to the cash book because you're arriving cash book balance. Deposit which is entered in the cash book twice, you are adding it. And check which is returned out of date, 11 lakhs, we are adding it. So you are arriving less direct deposit by the customer which is not entered in the cash book. So you are arriving at the balance as per cash book. Now, if you see here, from the passbook, we are going at the cash book balance. Now you can ask me whatever doubt you have in this format. So the interesting thing here is whatever errors has happened in the cash book, whenever you are going from the passbook to the cash book, you are adding those, you are incorporating those errors. If you don't incorporate those errors, if you start rectifying those errors, then your cash book will not match. You will not arrive at the cash book balance because you're starting from the passbook balance. So if I say you can see here, now I will go it slowly. First, you took the checks which are deposited bank but not credited. Okay, check deposited. Then standing instructions, payment of high purchase installments is not entered in the cash book, so I have added it back. Okay, because it's not added in installments, which is not there in the cash book. The information not there with you. Discount allowed wrongly entered in the bank column, 16,000. Now discount is wrongly entered in the bank column, which was not there in the passbook. But to increase the cash book balance, the 16,000 has to increase because you're arriving from the passbook. Yes, Gauri. Yes, Gauri, tell me. Gauri, tell me. Gauri, tell me. Gauri, what is your question?
So,
yes.
Deposited entered in the cash book twice, sir. We should be deduct, na, sir?
What happened?
Deposited entered in the cash book twice, sir.
We
enter twice in the cash book, sir. So we have to deduct that amount, sir, in cash book.
Definitely, we have to deduct that amount of the cash book. But now whatever we are doing is we are entering into the cash book balance first. We are entering from passbook to cash book to know with all these things what is the cash book balance. We are not preparing the adjusted cash book now. We are simply preparing the BRS. The question is asking us to prepare the BRS, not the adjusted cash book. Are you able to understand? Whenever we are preparing the cash book, just we are going by the normal BRS from the balance as per passbook to cash book. We have to take all those things which should have been reflecting in the cash book. Okay. And we have to abandon all those things which are reflecting in the passbook. Am I correct? Ashwika, yes.
Yes, sir. Like, why are we deducting the 4 lakhs, sir? Like, I don't understand that part.
Which 4 lakhs?
Sir, in the less area, sir, direct deposit by customer not entered in cash book. So we have to plus in the passbook, no, sir. Why are we lessing it or like?
No, this is a information which is there in the passbook, but not in the cash book.
So like we should subtract from it.
Yes, because from the passbook balance, if you don't subtract a bank receipt, if you check the formula in my one slide, I have done minus from passbook balance. When you're going to cash book balance, what is the equation I've given? Passbook balance minus check issued plus check deposited minus bank receipt plus bank charges equal to cash book balance.
Yes. Okay, sir. I get it. I got
Understood?
it.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So I say always look that flowchart again and again so that you'll get to know the logic. Okay. So now, like Gauri has asked, why I am doing like this? Because we are arriving at the cash book, because see, we have only the passbook balance. Had I have the cash book balance, I would have rectified everything, as per Gauri said. But since I don't have the cash book balance, I have only the passbook balance. So I should go what is there in the passbook. Then only I will reach to the cash book balance. Am I correct? Is it audible to all of you? Yeah, Prajwal.
Sir, if we first adjust the cash book and then if we prepare the BRS, will they give the mark?
Do we have the balance? Please check the question. Do we have the cash book balance? First of all.
No, sir. No, sir. No, sir.
Then how will I adjust it?
Yes.
Correct?
Yeah.
If I don't have the cash book balance, I cannot adjust it. So always remember, when I'm arriving from passbook, I have to go according to the cash book.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Okay. If I have the cash book with me, then I will adjust it and then I can reconcile with the passbook. Job done at once. Okay. So sometimes what they do, they knowingly ask you the only the passbook balance and they ask you the question. Then students get confused. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is the way we have dealt with, and you can see the balance as per cash book you have got is 29,70,600. So I think here though no doubt. If any doubt, you can ask me, raise hands, because now I'll go to another slight confusing overdraft, but no worries. I will clear all your confusion on overdraft. So I think no doubt here. Still then, if you have doubt, you can ask your doubts in the next session to me, not an issue. Okay. When my next session comes, you can ask these doubts on bank reconciliation. I have shared it to Madam. You can take this slide. Chaitanya. Yes, Chaitanya. Yeah, Chaitanya, tell me.
Hello, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, Chaitanya, you're audible. Tell me.
Sir, I have a basic question, sir.
Yes.
Simple BRS, it's clear, sir, because it is concerned about the finding out the reasons of discrepancy, not to correct it.
Right.
But, sir, nevertheless, when it
not to correct it, not when you have the cash book, you can correct it. When you have the passbook, you have to go to the cash book.
Yes, sir. We can't change the passbook only.
Hmm.
Sir, but when it indulge with other treatments like bills of exchange and taxation, it gets a little bit confusing and tricky, sir, and takes so much time to solve it.
No,
Sir,
no, never. Bill of exchange is never tricky. See, remember, bill of exchange, if it is discounted, means whatever amount is given, definitely some charges must be given to deduct it.
Sir,
Bills payable will always go to the credit side of the cash book. Bill of exchange, bill receivable will go to the debit side of the cash book.
That's not problem, sir. Sir, it's concern about time taking, sir, because there is different treatment in BRS instead when we solve bill of exchange separately.
No, bill of exchange is a separate topic. When I'll tell you the method to solve it. But in the bank reconciliation, bill of exchange, they will normally ask you about bills receivable and bills payable. Only about that only. And normally they ask you bills receivable discounted or bills receivable discounted and dishonored. And bills payable. That type. These three categories only. So instead of bills receivable, they may ask bills for collection, bills sent for collection. Now, bills sent for collection is in like the same format as checks deposited, not credited. Means you have sent the bill to the customer will pay it after some time. So you can enter it in your cash book. Okay. So that type of problems also I am showing you. That is also there in the slides where we are dealing with the bill of exchange also. I showed you one bill of exchange. One of the CA foundation paper, I am talking about this bill of exchange. Yeah, Chaitanya, what are you saying? Chaitanya? Fine then. Now this is looks a bit confusing, but no confusion. It will be cleared quickly. What do you mean by favorable balance in a cash book? A plus balance, which is always a debit balance. Similarly, whenever there is a favorable balance, if you issue some checks, the balance decreases. And if you deposit some checks, the balance increases. What is the unfavorable balance? Unfavorable balance is when the balance is a credit balance. Normally, banks provide overdraft facilities. Bank allow you like a credit card to spend more on that because you must be knowing, all of you, when you have studied in +2 also, about working capital. So to provide a short-term loans, bank provide you unfavorable balance to the companies. So in that time, whenever the checks are issued, the balance actually increases because minus with more minus will increase. Minus with more minus will increase. So understand, favorable balance and unfavorable balance are both mirror images. That's why even if I talk to you in the class, please take the slides and practice a lot. Practice a lot. Whatever I said, you can note it down, but practice a lot. And when checks are deposited, this unfavorable balance actually decreases. So this is just the reverse. When checks are deposited, favorable balance increases. When checks are deposited, unfavorable balance decreases. So similar for all the receipts and payments, the same type of scenario happens. So if you have a favorable balance at 2,000 plus debit, checks deposited 4,000, so definitely you'll get your balance will increase. But if you have an unfavorable balance, 2,000 credit, means it is minus 2,000. When you deposit a check of 1,000, then what will happen? 1,000 credit minus 2,000 plus 1,000 becomes 1,000 credit. That means the balance, unfavorable balance decreases. The unfavorable balance decreases. So you have the nomenclature that unfavorable balance, zero balance, favorable balance in cash book. You have unfavorable, zero balance is towards one side, unfavorable is always a credit balance, favorable is always a debit balance. So this is the nomenclature for cash book. If you go to the similar nomenclature for passbook, favorable balance is always a credit balance, unfavorable balance is always a debit balance. That's why when your account has a debit balance, bankers sometimes call you to say that your bank balance is debit. Please deposit some money, and when your money is deposited, say you deposit 1,000, then 1,000 rupees credited. So bank in your mobile, it will come message as credit balance. So credit balance is always a favorable balance for banks. Now we will see from overdraft to passbook when I reconcile. Please understand and please remember this formula. Please remember this formula. It will be needed again and again. And your problems whenever the questions comes, you'll never be confused. Whenever there is overdraft cash book, from overdraft cash book, you are coming to the overdraft passbook. From overdraft cash book, you have to come to the overdraft passbook. So you are going by the method of balance presentation. So whenever you are going there, whatever is increasing your cash book balance, you should abandon it. Now in an overdraft cash book, checks issued will increase your balance. So you will abandon it. And check deposit will decrease your balance. You will add it back. So then what you can do is, you can deduct the bank receipts, because if it is overdraft is a cash book, it is assumed that passbook also reconciling, imagining the balance is same, passbook also will be overdraft. So in the passbook overdraft also, bank receipts will decrease the balance and bank charges will increase the overdraft balance. So then you will arrive at the overdraft passbook balance. Please ask me if any doubt here. Yes, Somil raised hands. Very good, Somil. Yes, tell me. Tell me, Somil.
रिपीट कर देंगे, ये थोड़ा सा practice है.
You want in Hindi?
Hello, sir.
Hello, you want to tell in Hindi?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So just you see here. I'm going to the back slide 5, first slide. क्या देख रहे हो? जब अनफेवरेबल बैलेंस है, माइनस बैलेंस है, चेक इश्यूड होने से बैलेंस बढ़ता है, चेक्स डिपॉजिट होने से बैलेंस कम होता है. When checks are issued, the balance increases. When checks are deposited, the balance decreases. It is the opposite of favorable balance. प्लस का अपोजिट माइनस है. माइनस में जितना माइनस आएगा, माइनस बढ़ता जाएगा. माइनस में प्लस आएगा, माइनस कम होता जाएगा. करेक्ट? So this is what I showed you in an example. Now what happens is, overdraft में checks issued minus balance बढ़ के था. Checks issued जो balance बढ़ के था, उसको कम करने के लिए I deducted the check issued. चेक इश्यूड होने से पहले से ओवरड्राफ्ट था, उसके ऊपर चेक इश्यूड होकर बैलेंस बढ़ के था, तो आई हैव टू अराइव एट अ पासबुक, सो आई विल डिडक्ट द चेक इश्यूड, क्योंकि चेक इश्यूड बैलेंस बढ़ाता है तो मैंने इसको घटाया, कम किया। चेक डिपॉजिट बैलेंस को कम करता है तो मैंने उसको बढ़ाया, तो चेक डिपॉजिट को ऐड किया। बिकॉज वी आर नॉट राइटिंग एज प्लस एंड माइनस, वी आर सिंपली राइटिंग देम एज नंबर्स. That overdraft we are not writing as minus, we are writing as numbers. Since we are writing as numbers, we have to use this equation. So checks issued जो है ओवरड्राफ्ट को बढ़ा देता है, ठीक है, तो इसलिए उसको घटाने के लिए माइनस किया, चेक डिपॉजिट को मैंने ऐड कर लिया, तो इसको बैलेंस को ओवरड्राफ्ट पे बढ़ाने के लिए, नहीं तो कम हो जाएगा. देन बैंक रिसीट्स व्हाट हैपेंस इज दे डिक्रीज द पासबुक बैलेंस. नाउ सिंस आई एम गोइंग टुवर्ड्स द पासबुक, I will minus the bank receipt, because bank receipts in overdraft passbook will decrease the passbook balance, and bank charges in overdraft passbook will increase the passbook balance. So this is the formula for the overdraft passbook. I hope it is clear to all of you. If it is not clear, look at it again and again. Again and again will get clear. So you can see reverse entry, and yes, Prajwal.
So what we added in the favorable balance, we should deduct it.
Yeah.
Yes, no?
Prajwal, tell me what happened.
What we will add in the favorable balance, we should deduct in overdraft, no sir?
See, whenever you reach at the final balance from one balance, suppose your balance, favorable balance is say positive, okay, that I'll discuss also. Whenever you if you after doing BRS, if you get a negative balance, then your balance is unfavorable balance. Suppose balance is minus, after doing all this, when you reach plus, then it is a favorable balance. So normally what you assume that since the bank book and cash book must tally, they must be almost similar. So if there is a cash book, there is an unfavorable balance, means passbook there must be a unfavorable balance. That you have to assume it. Then your final balance will say whether it is a favorable balance or it is an unfavorable balance. Clear? Am I clear, Prajwal? Okay. So this is how we are going forward. Now from passbook to overdraft. Suppose my passbook balance is overdraft, then I assume that yes, cash book balance must be overdraft. So what I have to do is I have to deduct all those things which has been responsible for my decreasing of the passbook. Just as the reverse I'm going. I have to do all those things which I have to go to the cash book balance, means all of the things which will decrease my cash book balance and which will increase my cash book balance. So checks deposited will decrease my cash book balance and check issued will increase my cash book balance. So from passbook, I'm moving to cash book. So I am doing all those things which will increase my overdraft and decrease my overdraft balance. Now checks deposited will decrease my overdraft and checks issued will increase my overdraft. Then what happens? I must deduct the bank charges, which will actually increase my overdraft passbook balance, because I'm going to cash book. So I don't need bank charges to increase. Then I will add the bank receipts. I will add the bank receipts which are responsible for decreasing my passbook balance. So they have decreased. Now I will add it back so that I will finally reach at the overdraft cash balance. I will again tell you, there is no, the confusion is we are thinking in terms of plus and minus. Think of it as numbers. Overdraft is just a form, characteristics, a number. A number, when you think of it as a number, then you can see how the overdraft increases and how the overdraft will decrease. Okay. Instead of plus and minus. Now you see this equation, visualize it. If you have any doubt, you ask me. I'm again ready to explain to number. Okay, because we'll be doing a couple of problems like this only. So checks issued, deposited, reduces the balance, checks issued increases it. Bank charges and bank receipts, you reversed it. And now we can see one problem here. We're seeing one problem here. What is the error here? Can anybody say the error? So here we have a cash book and we have some events. The red color is interest debited by bank, but no advice is received, is the bank transactions. Information received on a bank, but not to passbook, cash book. Checks issued, but not presented. Transport subsidies, again, that black color is from the bank information. Green color is from the cashier information. Draft deposited in the bank but not credited till 31st December. This is the cashier information. Somebody was asking about bills. Bills for collection credited by bank till 31st December, but no advice received by the company. So bills for collection was credited till 31st December, but no advice is received by the company is 8,36,000. That means company didn't receive the advice. So this is the bank advice which company should get. So it is the information known to bank. Amount wrongly debited to bank company account by bank for which no details are available. Now this is an error, and this error is committed by the bank. Now we have a bank overdraft, and we are asked a being bank reconciliation statement means we have to arrive at the passbook. Now, what is the overdraft as per Passbook? 22 lakhs. Interest, which is overdraft, is for as per Passbook. And what you have to do is you have to add all the bank charges because you have to increase the overdraft of the bank. So what you do, add the interest charge. Just you are going the reverse. You are adding the interest which is charged by the banks, and you are also adding the draft deposited in the bank but not credited. Is you are in the bank payment. Wrong debit by a bank which is under verification. Now the wrong debit by the bank will increase the bank book balance. So because it is a overdraft. So these are the additions at the points which will increase the overdraft balance. Okay. So interest charged by bank and wrong debit by bank. And draft which is deposited in bank but not yet credited, you are taking it out because you don't want cash transactions to stay with you. So you are going to the adding the draft deposited in bank but not credited. So this is the overdraft as per cash book. So you are going to the passbook. So you have added the check deposited because you want to, increase the balance of your cash book to reach at the passbook. Then less check issued but not presented as per the equation. Transport subsidy not yet recorded, and bills for collection is bank receipt 8,36,000. So your bank overdraft as per bank statement. Now, just one question: is it a overdraft or is it a favorable balance or is it an unfavorable balance? Nena Verma, please. Yeah, Nena, please tell.
So it is an unfavorable balance.
Very good. It's unfavorable balance. So my suggestion is once you practice all and all, you'll be able to answer the questions. I tell you, it's not that difficult. This is not that difficult. You keep on practicing, you'll be able to answer. So sometimes what happens, one balance is favorable and other is unfavorable. You can see that cash book is overdrawn, unfavorable, and this is favorable. Bank statement still balance. One is favorable and another is unfavorable. What we have to do? Now you see one is check deposited but not credited. This is bank transaction. Blue ones are bank transactions. Blue ones are cash book errors. It is entered twice in the cash book. Black one is all the blacks are bank transactions. Black ticks are bank transactions. Blue one is another error. Credited 20,000 to X in error. Okay. So I think I need this to explain. Just a second. Can I ask Priyamada ma'am to explain it in the next session? Priyamada madam, this is only some 30 minutes of session is left to talk to them. Can I continue this in the next session? During the inventory session, I can talk on this. Because I think that today we will visualize this overdraft so that tomorrow, next time, we can solve these foundation questions, and this one during the inventory, it will take during the inventory session, it will take only hardly 15 to 20 minutes, and I will complete it. discuss it in the next class. We can stop the session, right? Over. Yeah. Whatever doubts students have on the slides, the slides will be shared. We can discuss in the next class. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Bye bye.